All right, everybody, welcome to the Bohorror Tales podcast. This is part 2, our last episode. So if you haven't seen that, go watch it because this is kind of a continuation of that. It's all about demons, ghosts, and spirits. We pretty much captured demons before this, so now we're talking about spirits, personal experiences, things like that. I'm with my co-host yet again, Madison.
Hi.
And KELIN.
Hey.
So we're continuing this, and I believe we got off on KELIN's story. Now, KELIN's story, a little bit background here. In his past, when he was about 4 or so, his dad was acting really strange, and there was this bloody handprint on the wall, very close to the attic's escape hatch, almost on the roof.
Basically.
Yeah. So, and if you don't know, attics have usually a step-down ladder that you can pull down from the ceiling, and I assume that's what it is.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, so KELIN explained that he and his sister were about 4 and 5 at the time. They were far too short to reach that. And basically, the mom and dad were the only ones that could. The bloody handprint had never been there before. And their dad was acting very strange and very angry at the time. Now, he also explains that his sister has seen a man, a spirit, and 2 small boy spirits. Now, the woman was the girl child was bleeding from her legs with her period. And the boy, I believe, had cuts on his wrists or something like that.
Right.
Yeah, so there was this theory that we had, or that they were thinking of, that the guy, which I presume is the dad, killed the 2 children. And KELIN and his sister were also there with his dad. So it's kind of like a mimic of this murder, whatever happened. So that was kind of a weird thing that we were thinking about. Now, KELIN, did you have anything to add to that story?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Basically, to finish it off, a lot of stuff, like I said, had happened between the time and, that being. But the correction thing was, like, we weren't 4 or 5. Like I said, we're, 6, and she had to be 8 there because she's older than me. Mm-hmm. Or 9. Like, one or the other. But anyway,
a few, about 2 or 3 years older.
Yeah. But it's like, after all that had happened, the day, like, when we were talking about how angry he was, like, he was like, y'all did do it, y'all, like, it was like an aggression type thing. Like, we'd never seen him act out on us like that. Because it was so weird to us because it was like, we couldn't have done it because our hands weren't even it wasn't big as the fucking handprint, like, on the wall. Like, it wasn't that big. The handprint was like a frail, like a thin, like woman's hand. Like, it was so big to it.
So it looked like a woman's hand?
Basically, it was either a woman's hand or a man's hand.
Oh my God.
The hand it was thin. It wasn't like thick like how a man has a muscular.
What was it, Yun Bums? Okay, listen.
You know what? No.
All right. So I have a question, KELIN. Where do you think the handprint came from, and whose do you think it is?
That we can't say, but I know it was a woman because I have another story. It ties into the same house. It was a family that lived in this house. Y'all, it was a family that lived in this house. I know it was because my sister saw the dad and the 2 kids, and I saw the mother. I'm going to tell you the story of me seeing the mother. Okay. Our cousins had decided that they wanted to spend the night over our house. It's 2 cousins, Jalen and Justin, basically. We all decided that we were going to sleep in my sister's room because I was too scared to sleep in my room anyway. I never slept in my room because I just hated sleeping in my room because it was so scary to me. I was always scared sleeping in the room by myself, so I always sleep with my sister. We decided Justin decided that he wanted to pee, and he was scared to go up because the house, keep in mind, it was pitch black.
He decided that he wanted to pee?
Yeah, well, he had to pee. He had to pee. So he got up and asked me, could I come with him to stand by the door and, just wait at least. So I volunteered, like, I stand by the door while he was, urinating or whatever. And I vividly remember looking in the hallway, the same hallway that my sister looked down. Let me give y'all a visual map for expectation. If you can close your eyes, I can give you, like, what it looks like. Okay, close your eyes.
Closing my eyes, and I see O.J. Simpson.
You know what? See. No. Okay, I'm going to give y'all this house. Okay, think of a house. It is all brown. The house is all brown, and the front of it is brick. It has a brick.
It is strictly the color brown?
It is strictly the color brown. Like, that's the primary
What type
color.
of brown are we talking? Pumpkin,
it's like
pumpkin stem brown, shit brown?
Not shit brown, but, like, that weird, like, that
leather brown?
Yeah.
Like brown. It says brown. Like, okay. Brown. Okay. Think of a door. Think of a door directly to the right side of the house, but not like it's just the right side of the house, like a patchway, like it goes in. So we open the door. When you open the door, there's a walkway, like there's a part where you can hang your keys at or whatever. Like it's not that big, it's kind of small. It's directly in the area of the door. To your right is my parents' room. My parents' room is big. You know how big a master bedroom would be.
Yeah.
There's a restroom by the window, and there's a closet. That's where we saw the handprint. The bloody handprint was right there by the entrance of their door.
Wait, hold on.
Creepy.
So the attic is in their room?
Wait, no. I'm gonna keep going. Let me keep going. So that's the right side of it. That's where their room is. If you go to the left, directly beside the entrance of the door is a big dining room area. There's two like big ass dining room areas. Like there's the main area where the chimney is, with a window right there in the front, and a window on both sides of the chimney. There's that side of the room. Then on the other side, there's the backyard area, but it has like a sliding door where you can open it, like you can open it or whatever. And keep in mind, like I said, when you first walk in, there's the front of the house. By my parents' room, there was a small bar area. Like you can close the door and open it. It was right there on the wall. It's directly like right next to them. It's connected to the same part. And that's the section where I just said where the backyard would be. The kitchen opens. That's the kitchen, and then there's the back door. So the hallway. Keep in mind, my parents' room. If you visually remember, you go on and you turn right, and you turn left. You look directly down the hallway. That's my sister's room. The attic is right there in the hallway at where my sister's room is. That door, like, it's the attic, my room, and the bathroom. That's how it is. The ghost, when I saw her, I just saw the woman running towards me. That's all I saw. The woman was running towards me, and I ran in the bathroom. He said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I just saw something out there in the hallway." I had to explain to him what I saw because it was so scary, the fact that it was running towards me. But
it was Emily from Club
I was
Spread.
so scared because I was like, I need to. I said, "Can you go first?" I was so scared because I didn't want to be the first person to go outside the door. So we just both opened the door and ran out into the room and closed the door. But there was a whole family that lived, and I know there was. That man had to murder that woman.
So do you listen, KELIN? Do you remember the address of this place?
Let me see.
I mean, don't say it on here because there might still be people living there, but
I don't think anyone lives in the house though, because every time we drive to the neighborhood, we always check on the house to see if someone lived there, and we never see a car.
All right, so a little bit of homework when we get out this podcast. Try and find the exact address, and maybe if we do a return to this or something, or if in our series finale when we go back and look at all the episodes over again in the mega episode, we'll come back and talk about that and see if there was actually like a murder there or somewhere in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Because that would be a good return to this episode to really see what happened to that family if there is one.
Wait, let me get. Oh, I got y'all.
Aren't they legally obligated to tell you when you first move in? I mean, I don't know. But
They're supposed to be obligated to tell you like what's wrong with the house. I don't understand why they don't tell you.
Oh yeah, basically there was like this dad who basically killed his entire family. So, I mean, here's the keys.
But we should move on to the next story before this gets too long.
Because KELIN spent way too damn long describing that damn house. But
right, my bad.
KELIN was like, so basically we had this barbecue outside.
Right. The whole house? No.
KELIN was like, and then on my shelf I had, okay. So a personal experience of mine. This is really hard. I'm really trying to think of one that could be specifically used well here.
Well, Derek, you have a Ouija board.
You should do the one where you're in Arkansas and you were with your friends and y'all playing that Ouija board and it was dark in that house and you saw something.
Yeah, I have a few like that. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, which is literally everyone, I don't know why I said for those of you who don't, but so I own a Ouija board and a planchette. I believe it's called a planchette. I don't fucking know.
It is a planchette. So
the Ouija board, if you somehow don't know this, it's basically a board that connects you with the spirit world, spirit realm, whatever, and allows you to contact spirits. To my knowledge, I don't think it's ever worked when I've tried doing it alone. I've tried doing it a few times. I know it's a rule not to do it alone.
Right.
So,
and you know, what happened with me was just like, it happened because we already had activated it with all the, with the 3 people.
So, and I've had this Ouija board for, let me think, about 6 or 7 years.
Right, a couple of years.
So, I mean, it's pretty torn now. It's pretty messed up. But I had basically asked for it for my birthday. So, yeah, this will actually be exactly 7 years tomorrow.
Right.
Really?
So, right. That's very surreal that we're talking about this. Right. So, it's been about... Oh, speaking of which, it's right fucking next to me. That's creepy. I didn't even see it. Okay. It has my Prismacolor pencils on it. Okay, so... As I said, I've dabbled in the Ouija board over these years a lot of times.
Right.
I played it with a lot of different friends. I hadn't played it for about a year or two since, I believe in March. I went over to a friend's house and I brought it and I played it with her and her boyfriend. And it didn't really seem to work. When we played it, there was this guy who said his name was Rick. And he was 45. But then when we asked him a question, it was very slow, first off. Like super, super slow. And then when we were asking a question, it just went straight to goodbye, which I don't think spirits are supposed to be the ones saying goodbye.
It depends if they want to. Sometimes they'll do it if they don't want to talk to you anymore. Like they're like, okay, you guys are kind of boring. I don't want to do this.
Right.
But to me, I was pretty sure that the girl who I brought it over there was moving it. I was like 90% sure she was, because I could see like her fingers. They looked a little bit more pressured than me and her boyfriend. So I could be wrong, but I'm 90% sure. I brought it up with him later on when we drove home, but he said that he also thinks, because there were some things involved that might have convinced her to do that. But anyways, so to an actual story, the most recent one that I can remember that's like actually major besides that is when I went out to California in 2016. And I was going out there the whole summer to visit family. And I went to go stay with my grandmother. And next to my grandmother, my aunt and my uncle lived there. And my uncle has always been super big on paranormal stuff. He's not interested in it, but he hates it. So, and he's very scared of it. If you actually walk into his trailer, in his bed, he has salt ringed all around it. Because he said that he's seen spirits and stuff in the house, in the trailer. Because it's a very creepy trailer, actually. It's like a pretty big mobile home, but it's very vertical rather than wider. So in the living room, not only is it like super old and like kind of dusty, so he has this big old box TV, and he has a recliner directly in front of it. It's something straight out of probably Insidious. Those kind of scenery, that kind of scenery. So basically, he said that he was sitting in the comforter chair in front of the big old box TV one time, and the TV turned black. And if you don't know, those TVs are extremely reflective. And he said that he saw something behind him when it went off. It was like this dark figure behind him. And then he fell out of the chair. Like it pulled backwards and he fell out.
Really?
He has some issues with his back, and he has a cane. So he actually had to call my grandmother, which my grandmother is his caretaker, to come and help him up because it hurt his back so bad. And he's always been super scared of it. And so he's been really worried about that kind of stuff. But that leads me to this. I brought the Ouija board out there that summer because, like I said, my grandmother was the one who bought it for me that birthday so many years ago. And I wanted to test it out there because my great-grandfather, not my great-grandfather, my grandfather, my dad's dad, was actually stabbed to death. Someone murdered him in the middle of a gas station way before I was born. It was when my dad was probably like 20 or something, a little bit before that. So, and he said that he had seen spirits and stuff. So I was like, okay, well, maybe we can contact him or something. It would be interesting to talk to him. So I got together with my uncle and my aunt, and we played it in his kitchen.
Oh my gosh!
His kitchen.
Like
on
this
the
is
table.
some real stuff, right?
Yeah.
So I put the Ouija board down. Again, this took a lot of convincing for him because he's super scared of this stuff. And we talked to someone. Now, this has been about 4 years. I can't remember all the details. And I can't remember what his name was. But guess what? It was super close to my grandpa's name, which my grandpa's name is Daryl. And guess what? It was the same age he was, which was 45. And the way he said that he died was a stabbing. And he knew my Uncle Jeremy's name and his middle name, which I didn't even know his fucking middle name. So it couldn't have been me. And my aunt was kind of I don't know. She's very on pills a lot of the time, so I don't know what the fuck. I mean, she could have known, but I have no idea. I mean, she's fine now, but I'm saying back then. And they're, well, at least my aunt is not very literate, so I could tell that this was not fake because she'd be misspelling shit all the time. So when we're going through this, it was very scary because one, he has a bunch of Russian dolls on the fridge and stuff. Like I said, he has a lot of classic stuff in his place.
Yeah.
And
Right.
so one of the Russian dolls had actually fallen off, and this was porcelain, so it broke. So we actually had to stop for a minute, and I had to help him clean it up, and throw it away because it's obviously a hazard being out.
Exactly.
And we didn't say goodbye. It was still an open board. And we got back to it later on. But eventually, after about an hour or so, we did end it. There wasn't too many details, but basically we had figured, our theory was that this was actually our grandpa, well, my grandpa and their dad that they were talking to. And like I said, it's been 4 years, so it's really hard to remember all the details, but it really fit with this idea. And it was very crazy. It was just a real experience. But then the next day, my uncle came over to my grandma's. Like I said, I was staying with her, and they lived literally right next door to each other. And he comes over, and he pulls up his shorts, and on his, thigh, or not his thigh, his calf area, there is a perfect cut triangle on his leg.
No.
And this freaked him the fuck out, because it is a perfect triangle. He couldn't have done it. Like I said, he has a cane and he has shaky hands. There's no way he could have done that. I don't know why the hell he would cut himself in the first place. But this isn't the creepiest part. The creepiest part is that 2 days later, it disappeared. Wounds do not heal that quickly, if you don't know. It takes a while. It wasn't super deep or anything, but it was enough to, blister over and then get fixed on later on. But so this was a very creepy thing. Not only did he add salt all around the fucking house after that, but he was not going to play that shit again. And I had played it again that summer with my cousin Wyatt, which he lives with my grandmother as well.
Right.
And nothing major happened, but we did play the Ouija board once or twice in his house. And so that was a very scary thing, mainly for him. I still can't believe that there was that triangle. It was a perfect triangle. And it's usually a pentagram that is more devilish, but I don't know. Something about the triangle is very evil to me. Right. I don't know. Maybe I'm looking a little bit far into it, but that was one of the most recent experiences that I had.
Yeah.
And I'll tell one more. I'll get it done quickly. But I used to live in Arkansas. A huge part of my childhood was spent in Arkansas, and I've made some really long-time friends there. I'm still friends with two of the people from there. But this story involves two of my friends, and their names are Colton and Jordan. And I've had these friends for, I don't know how many years. It's been a long time, and I'm still friends with them. They're very close to me. But so at the time, it was, by the way, it was storming, raining, and lightning outside. And this was, it wasn't Prairie Grove. It was somewhere near Fayetteville. I cannot remember for the life of me what the actual thing is, but it starts with a P. And it has it's a little bit more country. You still have neighbors and stuff, but it's more like
they're talking about Perigo? You're talking about Perigo?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I live there, yeah.
You live there?
Yeah, I used to live there in Perigo. Perigo, Arkansas.
Oh, no, not Prairie Grove, That's actually where the Civil War battle occurred, though. But, so it starts with a P. I cannot, for the life of me, remember what it is, but I'm going on a tangent here. Right. Basically, in this kind of small rural area, there's still neighbors and stuff, and you can still see their houses, but it's a very small town. And like I said, it was lightning and thundering outside and raining. It was pouring. So he had a main house, and he was there with his mom and his brother Jordan, which I talked about a minute ago. And at the time, it was his mom's boyfriend, and I cannot remember his name, but it's irrelevant anyways. So there was the main house, and then there was a shed. Well, not a shed, but it was pretty much like a secondary part of the house over off to the left. Now, this was included with a garage and a bedroom. So what they told me is that when someone was sick, they would put them in there because they had a bed in there and they had a bedpan. And apparently they're great. I think his name was Sean. So I'll call him Sean. So that was the boyfriend. And apparently, and this was his house, by the way. Apparently his grandmother had passed away in that room, which I didn't know. I didn't know at the time that we were doing this. I found it later on. But so we went in there because they were in the main house, so we didn't want to hear all the noise. We wanted peace and quiet. So as it was like pouring and stuff, we went over to the little area. It's just a small little rock path. It's literally like 20 feet. So we went in there, and like I said, this is detached from the main house, so there's not a whole lot of lights or anything. The one light that we had was a lamp, and we turned that on.
Right.
And we were playing the Ouija board. And this is probably something you shouldn't ask. And I can't remember if my brother was there or not, but if he wasn't, then we did ask something about him. So I wouldn't recommend doing this yourself, but we actually asked it, the board, or whoever we were talking to on the board, how we died and when we died. And I can't exactly remember what everybody else's was, but it said that my brother was going to die of like a drug overdose. And it said I was going to die at age 35 from a car crash. And I think they said September 14th was it. I can't remember the exact date.
Oh my gosh, that's 7 days after my birthday.
Right.
So that was a little creepy. I wasn't too worried about it though, and I'm still not. So I mean, it could happen. If it does, then you better come back here and let everybody know. All right. you better link this damn YouTube channel everywhere.
Yeah, not us being down a few years old, so talking about the Bohorror too.
Right. You have to return to Pensacola to see. It's like the It movie. Everybody's old and they have to figure out who the hell killed me in the car crash.
Right.
Okay. So basically, that was the main thing. And I can't remember exactly what my friend Colton and Jordan, what their fates were. I cannot remember for the life of me. It's been a long time. It's been even earlier than 2016. And I don't have the greatest memory for that kind of stuff. I can remember details about you, but I can't exactly remember the events super well. But basically, like I said, it was storming bad outside. And it was only getting worse. And eventually, Colton's mom didn't want us to come inside, but we were still playing it. And we said goodbye. We were playing and talking to a few different people. And one of the people that we talked to, it was like, I can't remember what their name was, but she was a woman. And she was old. She was like 60 or something.
Right.
And we were like, give us a sign that you're here. And the fucking the lamp light bulb broke. And keep in mind, that was our only light in that place. Like I said, it was dark. It was storming outside, and the only thing that we had on was a lamp. So the lamp broke, like the light bulb shattered, and that freaked everybody the hell out. So we ran. we grabbed the board and we ran inside. And I cannot remember if we said goodbye or not. There's been a lot of times that I don't say goodbye. So, I mean, I don't know. It still could be fucking with me or something. But to my knowledge, I haven't heard anything from him. But with those two people, Colton and Jordan, I have a lot of experiences with them. Like shadow figures is a huge thing that we'll get into later on another episode that I'm really excited to talk about. Because I have a straight encounter that I know was 100% real. But so that's basically my little gist of this. Now I have a lot more, but I don't want to get into it. But like I said, if you want to hear more about that, then I mean maybe we'll go into it another time. But out of us three here, I think I'm probably the one with the most experiences because I just be fucking with the ghosts and shit for no reason. There's kind of a running gag in the Boho chat that I use it to curse people.
Yeah.
So, no, what were you saying, Mads? You don't usually use the board?
I don't really like to associate with like spirits like that. I kind of like to keep to myself and do my own little stuff. But yeah, that though in the last episode when I talked about my Ouija board experience, it was just really weird, and that's why I just don't understand how Derek, you could just be like, oh yeah, I'll fuck with them. Like it's just so weird to me.
I'm a very carefree person with that kind of stuff because this is my beliefs that I don't think God is real or anything like that. I think literally everything just happens by chance. Evolution just happened, and then we're all just here because we were so through evolution we became so much smarter than everybody else, and that's why we're at the top of the food chain. But
that's why I don't know. Just like if we're talking about boho, we have somebody like you, Derek, who just is so far to the side where you don't really believe in God, and then we have like another boho member, Davin, who just is like a firm Christian believer. It's just weird how all of us are kind of like a friend group, especially with all these type of different beliefs. And
right.
It's very diverse.
And I like that.
Yeah. We have too many white people though. But anyways.
We can just say for now that a lot of people have their own stories, and if anyone watching this wanted to like comment any, that would be fun.
Yeah.
If you have like a ghost
if you've had your own personal experience, that would be great to hear in the comments.
Right.
And we do thank you guys for all the support on the first episode. Yeah. That was really great. Some of you didn't like the video though, but that's okay. Okay, so I mean, this is our basic thing, and we've got about 5 more minutes here left. But this has pretty much been the episode on the demons, the ghosts, the spirits, things like that. And like I said, a huge portion of this was talking about our personal experiences, and we could go on all day for that. So I mean,
it's mainly because instead of, so you know how Salem witch trials, it was more of like a historical event that we could quote and have our opinions on.
Yeah.
But this was more of like, this was more of like us kind of coming together and talking about our own personal experiences, because I'm sure everyone that, you know, is into that type of stuff has done or seen or felt something like that. That's why this episode is so long, because there's just so much that we can say.
Yeah, it's a lot more relatable, I guess you could say, or personal, because with the Salem witch trials, there's a cohesive story. There's a beginning and there's an end, and then that's it. With this, it's really open-ended. There's no cohesive storyline. There's tons of different religions that you could really cover. We only covered one, and we only talked about 3 personal experiences, and you saw how long that took. This whole episode is going to be nearly an hour. So I mean, you know, just talking about all this stuff. I can't remember how long the first one was. It was probably like 27 minutes or so.
Yeah.
But so there's a lot of different things we could cover here. And if we think that this is like a thing that we would like to bring back up or revive, then we might. Like I said, this is a very open-ended topic, so a lot of people could really give their opinions. And we just have 3 members here. If we bring in the others, especially Davin, not only is Davin going to shit his pants, but also I'm sure he's got some weird random beliefs or something.
Yeah. And I'd love to hear from him, because I'm sure he, like, you know, because doesn't he go to church?
Yeah.
He goes to church, and he's just very Christian, and I'm sure that he has some stories or things like that. And it was nice having KELIN here too, because that story is so freaking creepy, man. Like a bloody handprint.
It's still like a weird feel.
Yeah.
It's like a mystery, like, damn, because I still to this day want to go back to that house and go inside the house and go in the attic.
Yeah, because that was like a right out of storybook, like
when Kip was reading it online.
No,
it really did sound like the Amityville horror thing, because
that what freaks me out, because it was like the day like it happened, it still freaks me out to how my dad was acting. Like,
and apparently the Amityville horrors were apparently fake and they were staged.
Derek.
I mean, I don't know for sure, but I'm just saying that's the popular belief, because Ed and Lorraine Warren, which were the investigators on that, they've been in the Conjuring franchise. I'm sure you've seen.
Yeah, I love the Conjuring.
Apparently, they can't really be trusted. Lorraine Warren actually died about a year ago. So.
Oh my gosh, that just reminded me of something. My mom, or no, not my mom. There was this. I don't remember the name, but we watched Annabelle, right?
Right.
Because me and my mom and all my stepsisters are obsessed with The Conjuring and Annabelle and all those movies, and we usually go see them right when they premiere.
The Conjuring and Conjuring 2 are pretty much the only amazing ones. And Annabelle Creation.
Annabelle Creation was very good.
I didn't go see Annabelle Creation though. I wanted to watch it.
Oh,
really good, Kel. You should watch it.
Did you guys know that you saw the Annabelle Creation, right, Derek?
Yeah.
So you know the pizza guy, that like hot guy that was there, and he was like the one who like he hid in the hen house.
That wasn't Annabelle Creation. That was the third one. That was Conjuring 3. Was it Conjuring? No, it was Annabelle 3. It was Annabelle 3.
Yeah.
That was the one that just came out, I believe, last year.
Did you see that one? He hid in the hen
house. Yeah, and there was a wolf. Yeah, I wouldn't watch that one.
No. So, you know the guy, so that guy, he was kind of like a background character, right? He was like, you know, he was there, but he wasn't like there. Yeah. And so I was like, oh my God, he's so cute. I'm going to follow him on Instagram. So I followed him, and you know the new Love, what is it? It was made, part 2 of Love, Simon, the other guy?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's him. Because he posted on his Instagram about it, and I was like, oh my God. Isn't that crazy? That's weird. But anyways, so we should leave the viewers with like a kind of like a question, like if you guys have your own stories to comment them.
Yeah, you know, question of the day: have you ever encountered this? And question 2: do you think we're all bullshitting? Because I mean,
Right.
we're not. But I mean, you know, it probably sounds like a load of shit from a viewer's standpoint. So,
yes.
You know, Keelan's does sound like a very Amityville ripoff.
It does.
But that's
like,
but KELIN, that's what makes it so scary, because it's like
scary, right?
you always just see these in movies and like something like happens. It's weird.
It's IRL.
All right. Well, we're running out of time here, so we do have to say goodbye. But it has been very interesting. This will be uploaded in probably a few minutes or so. So, like I said, if you haven't already, go watch episode 1 or part 1, and then we'll watch part 2. It's been extremely fun. I really loved this episode. It was really good talking and getting everybody's actual stories out.
Yeah.
It's a lot more interesting to me. I love the history stuff too, but I think it's really cool when we involve our own personal stuff too. So,
yeah.
It's been very interesting. I thank you both for joining me. Now let's say goodbye, as usual.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye, y'all.